songs Dave White, or better known as NASCAR Dave, you can get a ticket if you get lost with that one. Then there was what? Born to Be Wild. There was a Springsteen song.
Born to Run.
Yep. There were a few. And I'm sure some of the judges around here in traffic court have heard just about all of the excuses. But, Your Honor, don't you know what came on my radio? No, on my 8-track, underneath the dash. You'd hit a bump and it would skip and change tracks on you. You don't remember those days, do you?
Actually, yeah, I do. I do remember 8-tracks, yeah.
Well, we're going to bring in our next guest. Not only does he remember 8-tracks, but he remembers when records were a quarter-inch thick. And at his house, they don't make pimento and cheese on Easter Sunday. They make peppers and eggs. Sausage, peppers, and eggs. And here he is, teaching pro, one of the all-time great teaching pros in the Illinois section of the PGA of America, Emil Esposito. Good morning.
Hey, good morning,
Dr. Esposito.
Good
How are
morning,
you?
buddy. I'm good. Good.
Happy Easter.
What's this, 16 years on the radio?
Can you believe it?
I'll tell you what, really, when you're having fun, time does fly, doesn't it?
It seems like we just started the other day.
Yeah, honest to God. I tell you what, it's amazing when you go back and think about all the years, you know.
My first guest back then was, I think, Harry Vardon.
There you go. There you go.
He was quiet.
Yeah.
No, it's nice that, you know, somebody appreciates what you're trying to do. I certainly don't get rich doing this, but it's fun. And it kind of dovetails with the publication and now the website, ChicagolandGolf.com, where if you're looking for that pimento and cheese sandwich recipe, that's where you need to go.
There you go. I remember those days. When's the last time you were down there?
4 years ago.
Well, yeah, 4 years ago? Yeah, it's amazing to see what these guys are doing there. I think, you know, I listened to you and Bob. It's pretty nice listening to Bob. He does such a great job. But my take on it, I think the next thing Augusta's going to do is like, okay, this is the golf ball you guys are using. That's it. Because they can't make it too much tougher than it is. And these guys are just like, they're playing so well. It's just unbelievable.
How many guys do you actually see anymore compared to the old days when it was easier to manipulate the ball, and that translates into it was a lot softer, and it also, because of the aerodynamics, it would really hook and slice badly if you hit it crappy. Well, how often does a guy come in with a big banana ball anymore using today's golf ball?
Yeah, it really, you know, it's not like it used to be, you know. And, you know, even moving the ball around, I mean, when you watch the golf professionals, it's amazing. I think, you know, the only thing the only guy that I can relate to right now compared to the old guys would be Tiger Woods. He's the only guy that he can maneuver the ball all around. A lot of these young guys they're beating it and hitting it so far, and they're either hitting a little punch shot, but they can't move the ball like the old timers did. But, you know, that's the way golf goes. You know, you know, you go to the companies now, and you know, you're a young golf professional going to go on the tour, and you know, they set you up at the computers, and they got your swing, they got the shaft, they got the, you know, they got anything that they can get to make it easier. That's what it is. And where before years ago, you just got a set of clubs and you went out and played. You know, it's like you got fitted to a point. You know, but now it's just amazing, and that's why the scores. And I think the professionals nowadays are in much better shape than the guys years ago. You know, it was interesting. Bob talking about Ben Hogan, you know, it's how with Bob Rotella, you know, and it really is, you know, Hogan was way ahead of his time, I think, as far as that is concerned, concentration part.
Mm-hmm.
So, but...
well, I'm going to argue with you. I don't think it's so much... I think that's the excuse that the PGA Tour puts out, and the USGA echoes it, saying that, oh, you know, they're in such good shape today.
Well,
you know, there were golfers. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish, and then then you can bounce back.
Okay.
Today's ball goes so damn straight, and then today's clubs, they look like a Bubby Rye on the end of a stick. They're that big, and they got a sweet spot the size of a playing card. Whereas years ago, they're playing with a ball that moved all over the place, and you could really slice it badly with a persimmon head club that had a sweet spot about the size of the fingernail on my pinky finger.
Right.
You know, and so today, because of the size of the sweet spot on the club, and the shafts and everything, and the size of the heads on the clubs, and a ball that really is hard to hook and slice, these guys are just stepping up to the plate and they're wailing on it.
Well,
you see it at the college level.
I agree with you there. I mean, that part I do. But I'm just, you know, I played in that senior, at Meritech Senior, at, you know, when we had it at Kemper Lakes, and you know, these guys they're working out, and I agree with you. I'm not saying that, hey, it's just a physical part, but you know, that's part of it also. I mean, these guys are much. I mean, you look at Greg Norman yesterday. I mean, the guy's 50-some years old. He's pretty fit for his age. Where you look at, you know, and nothing against Fuzzy, but you look at Fuzzy and Craig Stadler and these guys, it's a different ball game. But you know, the equipment has made a big difference. I agree with you 100% on that. You know, and it's just amazing.
But it hasn't put the teaching professionals out of business, has it?
No, it does. You know, because you know, no matter what, those $500 or $600 clubs, they can't hit the ball for you. Either you have to work on, and that's another thing. You know, I think that some of the teaching methods that they're using today, it's just, I mean, where they're turning the shoulders and getting that lower part that go into that left side. It's like, if you try to teach that, I think to the average golfer, you should go in partners with a guy that's doing back surgery, because you make a lot of money. You know. Yeah,
speaking of making a lot of money, your video.
Let's not go into that now, buddy.
No. Are there any of those left?
We're going to come out with a DVD shortly.
Are you really?
Yeah, one of these times. Once I get things going, it's just. But I haven't had a chance to do it yet. So,
you're going to have your hair shaded so it's real black, like it was when you were a kid.
I would never do that. You know, I got to 71 years old. I'm not going to be shading it. The gray that I've got is probably from a lot of guys that you know, when I missed a few of those little putts once in a while and couldn't get Verdi to hit it as far as I wanted to. That's what gives you gray hairs.
We're talking with one of the great teaching pros and storytellers in the Chicago area, Emo Esposito. Are you still home basing yourself out of Glen Club?
I'm at the Glen Club, yes, and everything's going well. Waiting for the season. I was in Las Vegas for the Illinois PGA Pro-Am and saw the Gem 6 and that, so it was very good.
How's Las Vegas these days? Not exactly crowded, is it?
It's really sad out there. They have Reflection Bay, one of the golf courses there. They locked it up, and the South Shore Country Club, they locked the doors. And
no, wait, Reflection Bay. Did they close Reflection Bay or the Falls?
The Falls,
which was the Weiss golf course across the street. I knew that. That went bankrupt.
But it's just amazing, you know. It's just what can I tell you? You know, it's a different world now. It's going to be.
Well, what happened out there though was the developer. It's, you know, you can't point your finger in all of these cases at golf. The finger needs to be pointed at the developer, whose eyes were bigger than his wallet.
Yeah.
And it's the home part of the thing where the developers are going bust on the residential.
Right.
And as part of that, the golf is going down with it. I just want to make that clear, because it sounds like golf courses are going bankrupt. And, yeah, there are a few that are doing that, but there's some big-name tracks with housing on them and very exclusive out west that are all in financial trouble right now.
Big trouble, yeah, they are. You're absolutely correct on that. So.
Well, all you have to do, if you're short of cash in Vegas, you just go to the casino, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. Because that's why they keep building those babies, because they're losing so much money, right?
You just walk in and you just go double down.
Yeah.
You know, here I am.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, I will say this. I don't know what kind of gambler you are, but the last time I saw you when we were down in Vegas, You got the sunglasses for it, let me tell you.
Yeah, I got the sunglasses. I play a little bingo with my wife. Yeah, that's fun. That's the best thing. It's $4 for a card, and you can do that. That's about it. You're not going to beat anybody out there unless you get lucky. I mean, it's just a matter of, but everybody's got a little greed. You're going to win maybe 500. You think you're going to win 1,000. The next thing you know, you're reaching in your pocket and coming out with a couple $100. So, yeah. But it's I tell you, it's just a fun place. We bought a place out there about 8 years ago, and everybody thinks that, you bought a place in Vegas, you must be a gambler, and I don't gamble. I don't even do that with the members. I always told my assistants, I said, if I catch you gambling with the members, I'm going to fire you because it's a lose-lose situation. So I'll play $5 Nassau, no presses, like we used to years and years ago, where we played $2 Nassau's and with no presses. And I'm not the type of person that's going to play with you and say, well, listen, let's play a little money game. And I mean, I've had guys already say to me that, how can you play golf and not gamble? I said, well, I just enjoy playing golf with my friends and have a good time. I'm not out there to beat them out of $30 or $40 every time I play with them. So, but I remember one
time you and I had a bet.
Yeah.
It was during the PGA show, and we were all in Florida, and we went to the Villages.
That's right.
And I hadn't touched a club for like 3 months, but I knew you were in the group behind me.
Yeah.
Or no, you were in the group ahead of us,
right.
And you and I had a bet. And I finished the front 9 and 2 under, and you were even par. And I'm thinking, where is this coming from? And I'm thinking, I told you at the turn, I said, you better do something because you know me. If I beat you, I will write a story about it, and I will talk about it every Saturday on the radio this summer.
I'll never live it down. You're right.
Yeah. So what happens on the back? I play my butt off because the holes are tougher coming in on the back 9. I shoot even par for 2 under on the round, which is really not characteristic of me at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you shoot 4 under on the back, and you beat me.
Well, that was just because it was an age difference, so. I think we bet a cigar, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, but it was like a $30 cigar.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Well, we got him from Fidel's brother.
That's right. That's right.
It's 7:12 in Chicago, and if you have a question about your game, if you're having a problem with something with your swing, and Emo helped me out once over the phone. I was I'm going to say that bad word, shank.
Ooh.
I had the shanks really bad, and I called Emo and I said, I'm going to come over and see you. I got the shanks really bad, and you said, stay where you're at. Just get your thumb and your forefinger off the club.
On the right hand.
Yeah, and I did that, and it cleared it up.
Yeah.
And so if anybody has a question about their game, just getting started out this year,
it's amazing.
Let me give you the number. 312-644-6767, or you can, if you want to, just send us an email to ChicagolandGolf@AOL.com. That's what we'll use this morning. I'll be happy to pass it on and give it to Emil.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's with that that thumb and finger, boy. I tell you what, it just really, really destroys people's swing. It's just amazing. But it allows the left hand to swing the club, and if the left hand swings the club, that's the key to the game of golf, I believe. I mean, that's what I've taught and been very, very successful with it. I play that way, and I mean, I was watching that Barkley series. Have you seen that at all?
No.
With Haney? Yeah, he was trying to get Barkley to swing the club. It's like a lot of things going in that guy's head. But, I mean, it's just, if you keep it pretty simple, the golf swing, with your thoughts, the golf swing becomes a little a lot easier to maneuver the ball around. But a lot of people, they get into so many things. I mean, it's amazing. If I'm giving a lesson and the person's having a little problem with that, I say, well, what are you working on? They'll repeat about 5 or 6 things. It's like, God, I tell you what, if Tiger was thinking of that many things, he'd be hitting the ball just like you. It's like, so.
You do your thinking on the range. You don't do it on a golf course.
No question about it. And that's what's so watching these guys play now. It's just unbelievable.
You having fun watching Masters this weekend?
Yeah, it's good, Phil. We're going to have the kids will be coming over for Easter Sunday, and we'll have
for that peppers and eggs
not peppers and eggs. I got to stay away from that spicy stuff, But yeah, those are the old days, But yeah, I don't count Tiger out until the last day, and he's maybe 10, 12 shots behind. Then I'll say, okay, I guess he's not going to win it. But I think, the tournament, Arnold's tournament at Bay Hill, I think that Tiger win got so much interest in golf that, because before when he was out there, it was like almost nobody knew, who was winning. No one really cared, I don't think. But that impressed me so much more than if he wins the Masters. Really, to me, that was one of the greatest rounds that I've seen played in a long time, where he just kept playing. And Sean O'Hara, he played well, and just made a mistake. But that Tiger, it's just like when he putts, he just like wills the ball in the hole. I mean, you watch him, it's like he doesn't lip it. I mean, he's just like dead center. Especially, I kind of agree with Johnny Miller too, that he's the best par putter I've ever seen. I mean, he's just unbelievable. Even Saturday, watching it, he hit a second shot, and he lost the ball in the hazard, and he went back and the next shot on the green about 25 feet and canned it for 5 for a bogey. I mean, anybody else, double or triple, they're looking at, but that's the way he is.
If it would have been anybody else looking at that putt on 18 at Bay Hill on Sunday, I would have thought, there's a chance this might go in, but with him, you just knew it was going to go in. You would have been disappointed if it didn't drop.
That's the truth, isn't it?
Hey, hang on. Let me take a break here. It's 7:17 in Chicago. Maybe you've got a tea time today. It's Holy Saturday. Happy Easter, everyone. I'm Phil Kosin. This is the Chicagoland Golf Show, and you're listening to The Score, Sports Radio 670, CBS Radio, Chicago. 7:21 on The Score on looks like it's going to be a halfway decent day. 34 degrees out here in the western suburbs, but it should warm up. Today's the day you want to play golf anyway. You don't want to get in trouble if your better half has got a big dinner planned for tomorrow or family coming over. Our guest on this portion of the show is Emo Esposito. Emo, I got some phone callers, but I just want to tell one story. That you may know this. The big house right behind the green. It's actually, I think, a duplex, or they made it into a duplex behind the 16th green at Bay Hill. That's the green on the other side of the pond. Do you know who used to own that house?
Who owned that house?
Yeah, Hawk Harrelson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. We're out there playing one day, come off of 16. We're waiting on 17T. Because, those holes are always backed up because of the water.
Right.
All of a sudden, it's nice and quiet. We're chanting. All of a sudden, I hear this garage door going up. And I turn around, and I look, and in the side of this house is a small garage door, and a guy drives a cart out and then goes around and hits the keypad, and shuts the door. And I look at the golf bag, and the thing is huge, and it's got White Sox logos on it. And I turned to the guys I was with, and I went, "Ladies and gentlemen, Hawk Harrelson." And Hawk goes, "Hey, Philly, how are you?" He used to play there all the time, but then I guess they plucked all the pigeons. So then after that, they started going over to Southern Dunes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because they would play, for that $2 Nassau.
Right.
All right, let's get to some of these phone callers at 312-644-6767. Let's start out with Justin in Streamwood. You're on with the legendary teaching pro Emo Esposito.
Morning, Justin.
Morning, gentlemen. How are you?
What's happening?
Hey, listen, I got an issue. I'm just a weekend warrior, but I'm pretty confident with my game. I hit straight shots, but when it comes to my driver, it goes about, say, 250, 260, and then she winds up taking a real hard right. And I can't figure it out for the life of me. The rest of my clubs I can hit straight as an arrow.
Well, what you're probably doing with it. It sounds like it becomes more of a steering motion, and what I would probably tell you to do without seeing you, if you're hitting it pretty straight with the irons, you're hitting your drive out there 240, 250, and it's cutting, I would check your left-hand grip. Your left-hand grip, Justin, is probably a little bit weak, and when you're coming into it, it's a little blockage, but you get a little bit of a cut with it. So I would take your left hand and just turn it a little bit over to the right, so you have your like 3 knuckles of your left hand showing.
Yeah.
So when you look down, so that when it comes into it, it releases itself. You don't have to try to release the club yourself. It'll go. The hand will release itself when it gets in that position. I'm not putting you into a strong grip, but I would, without seeing you, what you're saying, it sounds to me like your left hand's in a weak position, and then it doesn't have a chance to release itself. So the club face is just a little bit open. You get it out there, but then it'll tail to the right. So that's what I would tell you to do. And make sure your thumb and finger of the right hand, they wrap around and touch. You don't want the right thumb on top of the grip. That's what a lot of people do. They'll put the right thumb on top of the grip, and they'll hit it the iron straight, but there's no zip to it. So make sure the thumb and finger is touching, but I turn your left hand over a little bit.
All right,
hey, thanks, Justin. We're going to move on. Appreciate the call. We go to Bill in Glen Ellen. Bill, you're on with Emil Esposito.
Morning, Bill.
Good morning, guys. Pleasure talking to you.
Okay.
My problem is more of a mental problem. I can go long playing fine, and whether I play 9 holes or 18, I always have a blow-up hole on each 9.
Why do you think you have the blow-up hole?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
because you're waiting for it to happen. That's why.
Let me ask you this: on your blow-up hole, are you thinking about your score?
No. No, I purposely do not add up my score because I don't want to know.
Oh, that's good. That's perfect. Well, it depends on what you're doing with the blow-up hole. I mean, if you're hitting the ball in the woods, and if you're trying to do something that really is not realistic, like try to hit the ball through the trees instead of knocking it out in the fairway, and then knock it on the green in 2 putts and you make your bogey. Those are things that you have to try to figure out. I mean, where are you? What are you doing? Are you hitting the bunker? Are you trying to hit different shots that you should not be hitting? I mean, when I played the tour years and years and years ago, when we tried to qualify, our main thing was to stay away from double bogeys, because if you made a bogey, you could make it up with a birdie. But when you make doubles and triples, they're hard to make up. So it depends on what you're doing with the blow-up hole. I mean, if you're not worrying about score, usually a blow-up hole starts when a guy's going, hey, listen, you know what, if you make a 5 here, you're going to break 90 or you're going to break 80, and you can count the guy's going to make a 9 on the hole. So that's one
of my match play tricks.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what
you know what happens, though? You know what happens, though? I have found through great research, through years of great research and firsthand experience, a blow-up hole is always one bad shot followed by one or more extremely bad decisions.
That's what it is. That's what I'm saying. The guys hit the ball. I played with one of the guys we played at Medina. Last year. So I played with the superintendent, our general manager, and Jay. One of the guys hit the ball in the trees on 18, and he's got a chance to shoot 79 if he makes bogey on the hole. And I said, listen, take it, punch it through the trees here, out in the fairway, knock it on the green. No, I'm going to hit it right over here. I said, that's a little opening. What are you going to? That's like stupid. Okay, go ahead. No problem. He made 7 on the hole. So it's like that's the difference. So, and that's what I would tell you, Bill.
Okay.
All right, Bill, thanks for your call. Let's take one more. We got Mark in Cary. You're on the air with Emil Esposito. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Phil. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Mark?
Good. Hi, Emil. Hey, I enjoyed your dad. He was very helpful as well. So.
My brother, Lou.
Oh, brother. Yeah, he was terrific stuff. So, hey, I put myself on video, which was a huge mistake. I have a very serious casting problem. And no matter what, I'm hitting high short irons coming into the ball. Working on the impact bag, bands, everything I'm doing, I just can't. And when I get over the ball, it's just hit.
You have a casting problem?
Emil,
yeah.
Emil, before you give an answer, explain to the audience what casting is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Casting basically is when you get it to the top of the swing on your backswing, and the first move, the right hand takes over. It's like almost throwing you take a fishing rod and you're trying to cast. That's the same thing. So what's happening to it when you're coming into the ball? when you're coming down into the ball, when you're at the top, the left hand is breaking down, and when you're starting down into the swing. So, and it's just you're anxious to hit the ball, and what ends up happening, the whole right side just fires from the top. And so you can't try to hold the right side back. What I would tell you to do, I tell all my students, it sounds like the right hand is the culprit in the golf swing because that's the stronger of the two, so they'll try to dominate. That's why what I would tell you to do to get away from it, if you looked at Ben Hogan's Power Golf, and when he's showing you the grips, he has his right thumb and finger off the club. And that's what I teach. I don't think all the things that I don't teach all the things that Hogan did, but I think the right hand it dominates so much. So if you can take and the thumb and finger of the right hand are pressure fingers. So if you can take that off, Billy, and try to hit a few shots with that thumb and finger off and just start hitting it, you'll start that left hand will start swinging the club right on through the ball. Then you will not cast. It's impossible to cast. The left hand will not cast the club. So the casting is because the left is a little weaker than the right, and the right just takes over because you get anxious to hit it. So that's what I would do. I'd keep it off and just go ahead and hit some full shots with it, and then you'll start to feel it. Then when you put it back on, just have the thumb and finger wrap around the grip and let the tips of the fingers and the thumb touch each other, and that's perfect.
Great. Thanks, Emil.
Okay,
thanks, Mark.
Good luck.
I appreciate it. We're up against the break. It's exactly 7:30 in Chicago. Listening to the Chicagoland Golf Show. I'm Phil Kosin. My guest is teaching pro extraordinaire Emil Esposito. We're taking your calls at 312-644-6767. This is The Score, Sports Radio 670. This is Chicago CBS Radio, and we'll be right back. This is Poison Arrow, by the way. That's the name of that song. I used to use that as a bumper on my show years ago, and now, I don't know, Dave White, everybody uses it.
You're a trendsetter.
No, but at least with that one, I'll claim popularity on that. I hear it on other radio stations. It just shows the quality of mind. And speaking of quality, we have a great guest on this portion of the show. Legendary teaching pro, Illinois PGA pro, Emil Esposito. Emil, we got more callers for you. We got Rich. We got Rich in the car phone. Welcome to The Score, Rich.
Hi, Emil, and hi, Mr. Kosin.
How you doing, Rich?
Phil, please.
You. Excuse me?
My name is Phil. Mr. Kosin is my dad.
Okay, Phil. Emil, I played with you in the PGA Open about 8 years ago out of Kishwaukee, and I just wanted to let everybody know that I had a great day. We played with Big Rick Smith out of Crystal Lake, and we had a great day together. Anyways, I'm having trouble releasing the club. I'm hitting everything right. Can you give me a little hint?
What I would do on the release, Bill, I would try to take the grip of club, and it doesn't matter what club you got. Bring it up waist level, okay? Just waist level, and swing it like a baseball bat. Just swing it like you'd swing a baseball bat. And that with your regular golf grip, and you'll start feeling your hands release. As they're doing that, do it 4 or 5 times. Then bring it down to the golf swing level, where the golf ball is, and start hitting golf balls the same way. And you'll start. That's just the release is just an action that has to just happen by itself without you thinking of it. But you'll get a feeling of what it's supposed to feel like if you swing it like a baseball bat. Baseball swing, the hands release themselves automatically, and you bring it down to the golf swing, and you'll have it. The hands will work themselves over. That's the freezing. It becomes more of a steer. I'm going to hit the ball. I'm going to steer it on the green. Well, you'll bust that feeling when you start getting that baseball swinging move.
Very good.
Okay, kid.
Rich, thanks for the call. And it's nice to see you've survived after playing and having to watch Emil hit the ball.
Well, now, be careful now. Respect your elders.
Jeez. You ain't that much older than me.
Yeah, I am. But that's
one generation.
Listen, I'm
okay.
I'm great.
You could go out and shoot your age.
Not yet, but I'm close.
All right. Let's go to another caller. Okay. We got Louie in a car phone. Louie, you're on the score with Emil Esposito.
Oh, good morning, Emil. Good morning.
Good morning, Louie. How are you, buddy?
Good.
I have to say, when I was a young guy, I used to take golf lessons over at your shop there in Franklin Park. I remember that.
Louis, huh?
Yep, I had a good time there. But my question for today is, Emil, I have trouble hitting my long irons. I mean, I could stand over a ball with a 7 or an 8 iron, feel completely comfortable. I don't know why. But boy, I put a 3 or 4 iron in my hand. I don't know if I try to change my swing. I don't know what goes on, but I just...
Louis, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Hybrids, my boy, hybrids.
How old are you, Louis?
52.
There you go. Now, you heard Phil say, get the hybrids. Take that 2, 3, and 4 iron, take it out of your bag, get yourself a couple hybrids. I can tell you what I've got in my bag. I got the driver, and I have 1 through the 5 hybrid. I don't have the 2, 3, 4, 5 iron out of my bag. I just don't think. I mean, the hybrids are so much easier to hit, and a lot of the reason too, also with the 2, 3, and 4 iron, a lot of the golf courses now. The fairways are cut so thin that it's not like years ago, and I'm talking years ago, where the ball would sit up a little bit. You know, even and a lot of these golf courses now, you know, they're cut so thin, the fairways, that if you don't hit that 2 or 3 iron and hit that ball perfectly solid, you got a liner coming up. And with the hybrid, the way they're made, I'll tell you what, it's almost like cheating using that hybrid. I mean, I can honestly tell you that. I mean, I love it.
Did it take you a while to get used to that?
No, it's very, very simple. Honest to God. I use the Cobra hybrids, you know, but I'm on Tyler's staff. But it's, you know, they're very, very good. When you see the pros, and you know, some of the pros out there, they always got 1 hybrid in their bag. They're using the equipment that's going to help them score. And for anybody that is having a problem with long irons, and I think anybody that's over 40 years old should be in the hybrids. I think that's just my opinion. Have 1 in the bag and throw that 2 iron out of your bag and 3 iron. You don't need it.
I appreciate it.
Hey, Louis, thanks for the call. You know, Ed, I'll tell you where I woke up to this. You know Billy Sheehan, right?
Oh, sure.
Okay, I was playing with him one day.
Mm-hmm.
And he came over and asked me, he said, why are you carrying a 2 iron, a 3 iron, and a 4 iron?
Yeah.
He said, well, you know, typical answer is they came with the set, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, being cheap, I'm going to use them all.
Right.
And he told me a story about when he was at the U.S. Senior Open in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Saucon Valley, but I'm not sure. But anyway, they played a course where a lot of the holes, your second shot into all the greens was on a downslope.
Yeah.
And he was playing a practice round with Christy O'Connor.
Mm-hmm.
And about halfway through, Christy came over and said, why are you playing with those irons? Why don't you put some fairway woods, which in those days now they call them hybrids, but why don't you put a 5 wood and a 7 wood and maybe even a 9 wood in your bag, because you're going to hit off those downhill lies a hell of a lot better with those. You just have to make an adjustment because you know your left foot's going to be lower than your right foot, and that shuts the club down. So he did. And when I heard that story, he told me, and I went and did the same thing. And then maybe a few months later, we were at Atlantic Athletic Club for the PGA.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting in the press room, and everybody was making a big deal about the fact that Shingo Katayama had all these fairway woods in his bag.
I remember that.
And I just happened to sit next to Mark McCumber, you know, 2-time Western Open champion, an old friend. He was doing TV for somebody, and we were sitting in the press room watching this, and I looked at him and I said, well, there goes the 2 iron out of everybody's bag. And he goes, no way. He said, you can't hit the same shots with a fairway club like that you can hit. You can't hit a knockdown cut like you can with a 2 iron.
Yeah, well,
and I said, there aren't that many guys on tour that can consistently hit that knockdown cut with a 2 iron.
That's right.
And here we go. That was, I think, 2000. or 2001 or whatever where it was. Here we are now, 7, 8 years later, and those guys are all depending on those.
You know, it's funny that you're saying that because that happened to me sort of because Jimmy Michael, the Tyler salesman came out to the club, about 3 years ago or so, and he said, "Hey, here, try this club out." And it was like a 3 hybrid, and I was like, "Oh my God, you guys are." You said
to him, "Is it free?"
Oh, well, that was beside the point. But I said to him, "You guys are driving us pros crazy, man. You're coming out with all this stuff. He's just hit it." And I went, "Jimmy, just hit it." So I hit it, and I was like, "Wow, let me hit it one more time." "Hey, Jim, listen, I need to get this 3 hybrid." It was like unbelievable, and I've got them all in my bag. I mean, it's like because they're very forgiving. You think that well, I don't have to tell you, you have to have 2 and 3 iron and try to hit it flush. It's like it's tough to do. I mean, what we were talking about before, which is pretty interesting. A guy came in last year, and he brought a club in to get refinished over at the Glen Club, and I looked at it. It was one of those old 5-wood Ram, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh my God, look at that!" You put the ball next to it, you didn't have much room to air. I mean, it was a wooden head. I mean, so the clubs are, compared to years ago, it's so different now. So, but yeah,
I mean, I got wooden clubs with wooden shafts that were made turn of the century and in some in the 1890s that have that same shape.
Yeah.
They were smart enough to use it then. And we just had to wait, 100 years for it to come back into vogue?
Yeah.
By the way, I want to make a correction. When Bill Sheehan won his second U.S. Amateur Championship, he won 2 U.S. Amateurs and 2 U.S. Senior Amateurs and a British Senior Amateur. He won in 2000. That was at Charlotte Country Club in North Carolina.
Okay, that's
I like to be accurate.
That's right. Well, you are accurate, that's for sure.
I try to be, but I can't remember everything. What was your first name again?
Yeah, right. Who is it? What show is this?
Yeah. What radio station is this? I just name them all. Sooner or later, I'll get it right. Eh?
There you go.
Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll save it for the next time. But the next time, I want you to tell the story again, because a lot of people haven't heard it, about the kid that he was one of your assistants, shot 59 or some ridiculous number at Brookwood.
Let's not even go there, buddy.
No, next time. I want to write that story for my blog, and I can't. I don't know if
That was the biggest fiasco. I mean, it's just amazing. And the funny part of it afterwards, Dow Finsterwald, he had called me up, and he said to me, "You know this young man?" And I went, "Yeah, he used to work for me." I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, we had a little problem out here. One of the pro-ams shot some kind of a number, and the guys that he was playing with said, 'There's no way we could have shot that.'" And I was like, "Okay, that's good, but it's like that stuff catches up to you."
Well, the one that got me was the story, and general people in the media that don't know golf.
Right.
It's part ignorance, part stupidity. They all wrote the story about that guy down in El Paso, Illinois, I think at El Paso Country Club or wherever it was.
Okay.
The guy that claimed to make 16 holes in one last summer. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
They were and he was doing it on par 4s. I mean, he was pouring it in from all over the place.
Well,
I just find that a little hard to believe. That's all.
Well, you know what? This is. I mean, it's just. I don't even want to go into it. I mean, when one of the guys came in and said, "Hey, this guy's really playing good out there," and I was like, "What?" He says, "Yeah, he went 2-1-1-2." I was like, "Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense." Yeah,
I can't.
And I was like, "Okay." So
I can't even do that at Carl's Golfland.
After the round was over, I said to him, I sat him down in my office, and I said, "You know what? This is no section to be fooling around with. I mean, plus, it's just there's no possible way you did it." "Yeah, I did it." Well, okay. And then he was immediately let go.
Well, my best score, I know this will be hard for you to believe, but I shot 13 on the back nine at Ziggy Troy.
There you go.
I'm talking about the adventure golf.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So,
hey, Emil, thanks a lot.
Well, listen,
my best to Teresa, and good health to you guys. Too. Have a happy Easter.
You have a happy Easter. Everybody out there have a happy Easter. And if they want to work with me, give me a call, 764-4653. Okay, buddy.
Or if you have a question, just call.
That's right. There you go.
But he really would like to see you in person. He's like a doctor. He's got to have eyes and hands on you.
Well, we keep it simple anyway.
You do. I tell you what, if a public golfer especially can't relate to you,
they're in trouble.
They got a problem.
That's right.
You know, because you are...
You know, the funny part of it, too, Phil, honest to God, you know, which really makes me feel good. When I'm getting the guy to hit it and he's really going, he goes, his statement is, it can't be this easy. I said, well, you're thinking of all those other things. And just think of the positive things, and that's it. So,
well, when
you said to you, pal.
You get them going, and then they say, you realize I can't pay you today.
Oh, that's okay.
You go, well, here, let me work with your hands a little bit more.
Yeah, right. Turn that right hand underneath really more, and put that right thumb right on top of the grip.
And close your eyes.
That's right.
Hey, Emil, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Phil.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, kid, my man.
You never know what you're going to get, but it's always fun with Emil Esposito at 7:48 Chicago. This is the Chicagoland Golf Show. On Masters weekend and Easter weekend, you're listening to The Score, Sports Radio 670, CBS Radio, Chicago. Setting all the records this morning, NASCAR Dave White, Disco Dave White. You still have your white suit from those days?
No, that was a little bit before my time. Thank you.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what that lasted, like 4 or 5 years, but boy, I had a good time. There were a lot of clubs up on Rush Street and in that area.
A lot of polyester back then, huh?
Yeah, a lot of leisure suits, but I will say this, I did not own one, especially one where you could see all the stitching. But you could probably find one at a used clothing store. Tomorrow, by the way, the Masters comes on at 1 o'clock here locally, 2:30 today, and I think an hour before they've got they start TV coverage, the actual TV coverage, an hour before, so that would be at 1:30 today, Chicago time, on the internet at masters.org. And I got to say, the last couple of days I watched that, and it seems like they've solved all their problems with people trying to get into the website because I didn't have any glitches, blips, what do they call it when you're streaming, buffer issues, anything like that. It was smooth as silk. I was running it on, the high definition, full screen. And I was pretty impressed with that whole thing. So the Masters will be watched this weekend. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe Tiger Woods. I got to figure the golf course will play tougher, not only because of the way they're going to set it up, but if they get a little wind. I think, like I told Bob Verdi earlier in the show, I would think 8 under. I would take 8 under right now and go sit in the house because they don't care who wins, but they sure don't want, with all the changes they made, they sure don't want somebody being 10, 11, 12 under par, which if they keep setting it up and guys keep playing like they are, that's what's going to happen. All right, another great Chicagoland Golf Show. If you missed any of it or want to go back and listen to it, podcasts are available at www.670thescore.com. We also put them on our own website just in case they get lost. Sometimes that happens. Don't forget about ChicagolandGolf.com. Plenty to read there. Interesting stories, news about the Chicago area. A lot of stuff you don't get anywhere else. And the Masters issue of Chicagoland Golf, the preview issue, you might still find a copy in courses around the area. And we'll have another one out in about a week. Thanks to my guests, Bob Verdi and Emil Esposito. They are terrific. Got to stick with winners, folks, and that's what we try to do on this show. Thanks to my producer, NASCAR Dave White. That's it. Have a happy Easter, everyone. Don't eat too much ham or turkey. We'll be back next week. This is Phil Kosin saying, keep it in the short stuff, everyone. This has been a Pull My Finger production.
When Adam won Eve's hand, he wouldn't stand for teasing. He didn't Thanks for tuning in to Chicagoland Golf with Phil Kosin on every Saturday from 6 to 8 a.m. on 670 The Score.